welcome to HITC Sport. Alright, it's the January transfer window. I mean, you're probably all giddy with glee over potential signings, right? Yeah. I mean, we've just had Christmas, and you, after receiving a Cinderella doll in your stocking from that senile old granny who for some reason thinks that you're a 4-year-old girl, well then obviously you want to, ease the frustration of Christmas Day by watching your club sign a superstar, right? Or in some of the relegation-threatened teams' case, anyone who knows how to kick a ball. Honestly, I think right now Norwich would probably offer a contract to Jeremy Swaz-Lynch, but I'm about to pour boiling hot urine all over your hopes and dreams. Honestly, look down at your lap, it looks like you've wet the bed, because I'm going to tell you all why a certain transfer target of yours should not join your club. Right, let's go. Arsenal Dusan Vlahovic. Christ above, bad week for Serbian athletes. First we got Novak Djokovic, most likely having a Shining-esque meltdown in some Australian hotel. Christ above, after 96 consecutive hours of doing nothing but eating toast on the bed. I'm guessing he's now patrolling the reception with an axe. But anyway, now we've got Dusan Vlahovic, who apparently has already rejected a £45 million move into Arsenal. I mean, right now you probably got indignant gunners spluttering on their morning hot chocolate. Christ above, Fiorentina are 7th in Serie A, stuffed below Jose Mourinho, who all of you seem to think is just some wrinkled old dinosaur with the outdated tactics of a sponge, right? And by comparison, Arsenal are hunting down the Champions League, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, that move would be an upgrade for him, but, no, right now, this is the best contract Vlahovic will ever negotiate in his life. Yes, I know he looks like that depressed nerd of dodgeball, but the guy's just banked home 39 goals in his last 60 games for Fiorentina. Yes, he might, and probably is, just another 18-month wonder like Luka Jovic, but it doesn't matter, because right now his stock is glued to the sky. If I was Vlahovic, I would be holding out for a move to Man City, or even Borussia Dortmund, once Erling Haaland goes, and that can be his Bundesliga audition tape for then replacing Robert Lewandowski at Bayern Munich in about 3 years' time. Instead though, offering him the chance to play in a team full of children, playing for a side will probably crash out of the Champions League group stage next season, and again, Vlahovic would probably rather bite off his ear. Aston Villa, Philippe Coutinho. Listen, I realise that Philippe Coutinho played alongside Steven Gerrard at Liverpool, but that's not enough of a reason to go and sign for Aston Villa. I mean, I realise the Brazilian playmaker has his dignity and reputation chewed into tinfoil while at Barcelona, but no, you're still 29 years of age. I'm sorry, but you could do better than Aston Villa. For Aston Villa fans, I mean, they're probably all drooling out of all 4 quarters of their mouth, because the Coutinho of Liverpool was far better than anything Jack Grealish has ever mustered in a shirt. Honestly, that version of Coutinho makes Grealish look every inch that weird French guy out of the in-betweeners. Just looks like he smells of pig sweat. But honestly, Coutinho, after struggling at a Spanish giant and then failing your loan edition at Bayern Munich, his career is basically a step behind that of James Rodriguez. And well, he lowered his standards to join a mid-table Premier League team on loan, and did that get his career back on track? No, because right now he's currently weeping into a bin bag, playing in the desert of Qatar. But honestly, Coutinho, you should be aiming no lower than the Europa League. Go tap up Sevilla, Atletico Madrid, AC Milan or Borussia Dortmund. Don't willingly sit in a dressing room with Tyrone Mings and Ashley Young. Well, Christ, well, in 2 transfers alone, both Coutinho and Grealish have cost a combined £242 million in transfer fees alone. Doesn't that just make you sick in your brain? Brentford Vitinha. Yeah, so right now Brentford are sniffing around Braga's 21-year-old forward Vitinha. I don't know why, but I just smell Premier League flop. Maybe I'm being harsh, but you're a good player. Maybe then hold out for Sporting Lisbon or Benfica or a move to a La Liga club. I just have a feeling that in the Premier League, he'd be stamped out like an elderly lady bird. Brighton, Brereton, Diaz. This is controversial. You would think a Chilean international like Brereton Diaz to then be offered a £20 million move to a high-flying Premier League club like Brighton, oh, he should bite off that offer with his teeth, right? Well, I'm gonna say no. This man is halfway through a dream season with Blackburn Rovers. I mean, this is a club who've lost 7-0 at home this season. In that moment, I'm guessing the Ewood Park faithful probably wanted to stick a vacuum cleaner in Tony Mowbray's mouth. But the response? Diaz has already scored 20 goals for Blackburn this season, and they're 2nd in the Championship. Ben, finish the job. Blackburn Rovers are a far bigger club than Brighton. I mean, football heritage. Go on, go and get a former English champion like Blackburn Rovers back into the Premier League after a decade-long absence. I promise you that will do far more for your career and your reputation than just taking a Premier League shortcut by joining Brighton and Hove Albion, playing in the same team as Danny Welbeck. Ozzy, stay at the bigger club. He's like a Patrick Bamford, halfway through Leeds' promotion season from the Championship, if he'd instead just quit the club in January for a Premier League move to a Burnley or a Watford. No! Burnley, Mason Holgate. Yeah, so Burnley are targeting a move for Everton centre-back Mason Holgate. Here's my advice to you, Mason. Run! Listen, yes, when Rafa Benitez came to town, he clearly decided straight away that you were just a walking egg sandwich, but who really cares what he thinks? Benitez might as well be called the interim coach, because honestly, if he sees out even half of his 3-year deal at Goodison Park, then I will drink a bowl of Calpol through my nose. Benitez is clearly hanging to his job by the width of a Capri Sun, and then Holgate will be able to try and impress the next coach, be it Scott Parker, Graham Potter, or even Wayne Rooney. Holgate has been at Goodison Park for 7 years now. Does he really want to get stuffed in a turf moor changing room that probably stinks of a burnt out microwave? Honestly, hold tight, Holgate. Chelsea look at Digne. Remember when Manchester United were so desperate for centre forwards that they were literally ringing up anyone with a pulse? I mean, how did it come to having to choose between Odion Ighalo, Timu Pukki and Josh King? Well, similarly, because of Ben Chilwell's injury and the fact that Marcus Alonso is clearly more dangerous behind a wheel than on a football pitch, then I'm pretty sure Marino Granovskia is spending her evenings WhatsApping every left back in the country. Christ, well, they're even trying to bring back Ryan Bertrand in 2022. Christ, soon they'll be sending letters to Wayne Bridge. But their first choice is Luca Digne. He's a brilliant left back who clearly must have stolen the last blueberry muffin out of Rafa Benitez's lunchbox because he's been inexplicably frozen out. But don't go to Chelsea though. Digne, don't listen to Rafa Benitez. You are a top class left back, not some Chelsea stopgap who next season will be back to warming the bench and playing second fiddle to £50 million Ben Chilwell. No, you deserve a contract guaranteeing you first team football for years to come. Go on then, ring up Aston Villa. I mean, I think Matt Targett is a human chunk of kidney pie, but don't go to Chelsea's bench. Crystal Palace, Eddie Nketiah. So clearly Crystal Palace have the self-respect of anyone who goes on a date with Jay Franco, because they were already rejected by Arsenal misfit Eddie Nketiah in the summer after launching a £12 million bid, and now that he's finally ready to quit the Emirates, oh, they've still got their noses pressed up against his bedroom window. Listen, Nketiah might be a goal machine for the England under-21s, but does that automatically make him Premier League quality? Christ, he scores a hat-trick against Sunderland in the League Cup, and the English media react as if he's the English Thierry Henry. Are we forgetting, what alone in the Championship with Leeds, he was about as much use as a condom made of cheese? Why the hype for a 22-year-old striker who's only ever scored 5 goals in the Premier League? Nketiah, you are not ready for a Premier League move. If you want to go and rot on the bench at Sellers Park, then by all means. But apparently there's an option to move to the Bundesliga with Bayer Leverkusen, a club who somehow managed to rehabilitate an English lost cause like Demarai Gray. I mean, you're probably going to be stepping into the shoes of Patrick Schick, playing away from the spotlight of the English media for a team battling for the Champions League. Sounds a lot more fun than being stuffed on a bench beside Will Hughes. Everton, Sean Longstaff. I feel bad for Sean Longstaff. 2 years ago, Newcastle fans were desperate to keep him amid £50 million links to Man United. But since repeatedly playing like a walking pizza, they've now offered him to Everton in exchange for their left back. Longstaff, do not do it. This is a homegrown Geordie boy who just happens to be employed by the richest club on planet Earth. So fight for your place. Yes, it's tempting to work alongside Rafa Benitez again, seeing how he was the only Newcastle manager who ever had any faith in you, but still, he's going to be out the door in 2021. Don't sign up for 5 years of warming a bench at Liverpool, stuck in a dressing room with Jordan Pickford. I mean, make no mistake about it, if these men weren't professional sportsmen, they would be bullying each other on Twitter. I mean, I can absolutely imagine Pickford turning up to a tiny weird derby ready to punch a horse. I mean, Longstaff, to be fair, looks like he's got the aggression of a plastic spoon. He'd probably turn up to the stadium with a book. He's just a nice boy. But Longstaff, Geordies can get frustrated with you, but at least you're living their dream. But to Everton fans, your arrival at their club would be about as exciting as unwrapping a lump of broccoli on Christmas Day. You would just be the next Tom Cleverley or Darren Gibson. Don't do it. Leeds, Boubacar Kamara. Well, it is simple. Leeds United are linked with Marseille's 22-year-old French defensive midfielder Boubacar Kamara. But let's be honest, Marcelo Bielsa seems like the type of spontaneous manager to ditch the club at the drop of a hat. I mean, this Leeds United era is exciting, but it's about as stable as a Kanye West marriage. For all we know, Lee Boyer could be in the dugout next year. So no, Kamara, hold off for a more stable and sensible move. Leicester, Charles de Ketelaere. So apparently, 20-year-old Belgian striker Charles de Ketelaere is the next big thing. I mean, he's a creative player, sure, but really? £35 million links to half the Premier League's top half based on just 13 career goals? Right, well, side of Berreton scored more goals in Belgium than this guy. And as we all know, he's now just a fat tin of baked beans. I mean, fair play to Club Brugge. This is a club who are an expert at marketing their strikers as the next big thing. But honestly, Emmanuel Dennis has done well at Watford, but while in Belgium, he was linked with both Manchester United and Arsenal. I mean, Wesley Moraes turned out to be a £20 million Villa flop. No Bruges striker has really been worth the hype since Carlos Bacca, and that was nearly a decade ago. De Ketelaere, would he really get game time in an already packed Leicester front line? Simply put, no. So stay away unless you want your career to be strangled on the bench.
Liverpool are now Danjuma. Well, this is pretty awkward because I forgot to film this Liverpool part. But alright, listen. Arnaud Danjuma. Listen, the Bournemouth winger, he is a very good player, but do not, under any circumstance, go to Liverpool this January. Listen, he's just not good enough. He would be another Jordan Ibe. Listen, Jurgen Klopp, he could turn someone like Rafinha into the next Mo Salah, yes, but Danjuma is not the next Sadio Mane. I'm sorry, but if you go to Liverpool, you're just going to wind up being the next Takumi Minamino. Is that what you want for your career? Oh.
Man City, Ferran Torres. Yeah, 2 weeks ago I did a video on how ridiculous it was that Barcelona were somehow managing to afford Ferran Torres for £55 million, right? Well, now reports are saying that they're now having to offer him back to Man City because they're worried he won't be able to register him. Honestly, Torres should kick down the Barcelona board of directors' front door, grab someone by the tie and tell them that no, dumping him back to rainy Manchester is not an option. Find the money from somewhere. Christ above, go out and sell bags of your piss on the street if you have to. Anything, just stop being lazy and register the boy. Man United, Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves leaving Wolves seems like the logical step, right? I mean, who saw this guy staying at Molineux for half a decade? So you would think he should jump in this move to Manchester United, right? Wrong. Listen, going to Old Trafford is surely a dream move, and he would be an excellent fit in their midfield. But no. The Portuguese should not move this month. There is way too much uncertainty right now. Ralph Rangnick is going to be gone in the summer. Ed Woodward is going to be gone in April. And whoever the next manager is, whether it's Mauricio Pochettino or Zinedine Zidane, they could look at Neves as if he's just a human bowl of uncooked banana skins. And you might think,
oh, Pochettino's not stupid. He's not going to turn his nose up at Neves.
Oh really? Because he's left Gini Wijnaldum rotting on the PSG bench. Neves, do not tie yourself into a 5-year deal to a club when you don't even know who their manager is going to be next season. Not unless you want to be the Portuguese Donny van de Beek. Also, let's not forget, Manchester United have a central midfielder curse on their club. I mean, the last central midfielder they signed who actually managed to live up to the promise, the potential and the price tag, that was Ander Herrera in 2014, and even he was just a Spanish Darren Fletcher. Don't do it, Neves. Newcastle, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. This transfer would be terrible for both parties. Newcastle are in a relegation battle. They do not need to be signing the Gabonese Michael Owen. A talented goal scorer, yes, but a rancid professional who's got the application of Nelson Muntz. Aubameyang is a party boy. That's all he is now. I mean, apparently he's been offered a loan move to Newcastle. Really? To play in a team with Jeff Hendrick and Paul Dummett? Aubameyang needs to rebuild his career, but 32 years of age. Do not sign up for 6 months of playing under the former Bournemouth coach. If I was him, I would knuckle down, act like a professional and try and save his Arsenal career. Because they could be in the Champions League next season. But Christ, a party addict like Aubameyang trying to rebuild his reputation in a city with the Geordie nightlife? No, within 20 minutes of his medical, he'd probably be found doing whiskey shots out of a fat student's belly button in the toilets of Tup Tup. Norwich, Elliot Watt. So apparently 21-year-old Scottish midfielder Elliot Watt is lined up for a transfer from League 2 Bradford to a struggling Norwich City. Can't think of a more catastrophic move for his career. I mean, look at your countryman Billy Gilmore, a far more talented midfielder. I mean, do you think he's enjoying his time at Carrow Road? Probably the same way he'd enjoyed 2 weeks living in a Russian gulag. Southampton, Gareth Bale. Yeah, so Southampton are 24 hours deep from a takeover, and already you've got reports linking them with a move for Gareth Bale. I'm sorry, is Bale now just doing a twilight tour of all of his old clubs? In 2 years, is he going to be playing left wing for the Cardiff Civil Service? Lads, Bale has a contract for 6 more months at Real Madrid. If he goes to Southampton now, he'll instantly be throwing a guaranteed £15 million in wages out the window just to replace Theo Walcott on the wing. No thanks. Tottenham, Tariq Lamptey. Listen, I know it's tempting for Tariq Lamptey to ditch Brighton in a £50 million move to Tottenham. I mean, Antonio Conte turned a damp tea towel like Victor Moses into a Premier League winning right back. So what do you think he could do with a speed merchant like Lamptey? But lads, Lamptey walking out on Brighton now, it would be stupid. He hasn't actually done anything at the club yet. Don't forget, injuries have chewed him apart like a soggy Toblerone. I mean, he's only ever started in 3 Premier League wins for the club, and he's only ever experienced 1 win at home, and that was last week. A move to Spurs is far too soon in his career. Let's be honest, Conte's going to be gone within a year anyway. It's a risk you don't need to take. Watford, Domagoj Vida. So apparently, Watford want to sign 34-year-old Croatian defender Domagoj Vida from Besiktas. Honestly, Vida, it's not worth it. You have Premier League flop written all over your face. Stay out in Turkey where you can cope with that standard of football. If you move to Vicarage Road, then you are football's answer to Tyrone Woodley, chucking your sporting reputation in the bin to chase a few pound notes in exchange for worldwide humiliation towards the end of your career. You are a World Cup finalist. Don't let our final memories of you being eaten for breakfast by the likes of Ashley Barnes and Adam Armstrong, West Ham Aaron Ramsey. Listen, David Moyes has wanted Aaron Ramsey ever since he was a schoolboy. Sounds a bit dodgy, that. But right now, he's over the hill, highly paid mercenary who's had his confidence chucked through a blender in Turin. Don't move to West Ham, Ramsey. I just have a feeling that you wouldn't get in the team. And that would be embarrassing. Wolves, Matt Doherty. So apparently, Wolves want to bring Matt Doherty back to the club. But don't. He is finished. It's not the same confident, free, goal-scoring Doherty who he sold to Tottenham, because Nuno Santo didn't even play him in a Spurs shirt. And who knows him better than Nuno? Doherty is done. This move has been a hammer blow to his confidence. So for Wolves, this would be like taking back that ex-girlfriend who now stinks of cat vomit and lives under a bridge. And similarly, Doherty, don't do this. Don't ruin the memories that Wolves fans have of you. Instead, just seek out a move to a championship club in the summer. You know, maybe replacing Max Aarons at Norwich. Because Wolves is not your level anymore. Anyway, that's been this episode. What do you think? Alright, let me know. Am I wrong? Okay, should these players actually join your club? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe. As always, I'll talk to you in a while.